Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. We're headed to Las Vegas Motor Speedway here today with this Richard Childress number 27 machine coming off of a bit of a rough effort at Homestead, Miami. We ended up having a decent finish inside of the top 20, but we don't expect consistent top 10s, especially at the mile and a halves when it comes to a 4-star car. So obviously some work to do, but we know this first season's all about proving ourselves here in the Cup Series, not about going out and winning race after race and competing for a championship. This season's all about getting ourselves into a position next season to have a ride that can compete for a championship here. Now, as you would get qualifying underway with this brand new livery on the car, Dreamcatcher livery, by the way, make sure to scan that QR code. You'll understand what the livery is about at that point here, as we would get a decent qualifying lap in through 1 and 2, but then through 3 and 4 I would actually hit the wall on the exit of the corner here on turn 4, and obviously that would slow us down a little bit here, but it wasn't that big of a hit. It was a 32.077, and that puts us all the way down in 29th place here in the Pennzoil 400. So some work to do from Las Vegas Motor Speedway there, as you see the rest of the order coming up on your screen right there. Now, as we're going to see who's up at the front now. Daniel Suarez up there in 21st place. Austin Dillon, our teammate, in 10th, but Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano will make up the front row here, going green from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So last episode you saw both of our teammates of Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick ended up having top 10 runs, and unfortunately we weren't quite in the top 10. So we are a little bit off of our teammates when it comes to these larger tracks in this RCR third expansion car, but hopefully in these coming races here, as we go a little bit further down the line throughout the season, we can continue to improve our car. But nonetheless, it's still going to be a difficult task here now, but I'm up for the challenge, so hopefully we can still have a car capable of competing for at least a playoff position. I still think, I'm very confident that we can make the playoffs here in this number 27 RCR Chevrolet, as the green flag is out, and we are underway from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for race number 4 on the season. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano lead the field to the green flag. Both drivers so far this season very, very strong as we head down into 1 and 2 on these opening moments of this race. Ty Dillon in that number 96 up the inside here now as we come through at a turn 2. Still looking at options, by the way, on how we're going to handle season 2 of this career mode, because we want to head into the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season, but obviously we don't have next gen cars here in NASCAR Heat 5. So I'm hopeful, I'm very hopeful. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I need to reach out to some community members in the paint community to see if they want to hop on board and try and make a roster here of next gen liveries on the Gen 6 car. If you have experience, of course, with making paint schemes in NASCAR Heat 5 or just paint schemes in general, feel free to reach out if you are down to help with that project here now as we come through to the outside of Bubba Wallace here down this back straightaway on lap 2 of 19 laps in stage 1. So a nice lengthy stage to get a feel for this car if it stays green flag anyways, green flag conditions that is here now. As you can see, we were running the outside in 1 and 2. I was really confident and comfortable up here on the top. You guys notice here, whenever it comes to a mile and a half, I'm always going to the top if it's an option available here. But we would actually run down Daniel Suarez. We would go 3 wide with him and Corey LaJoie, but you can see like 25th place on up, they were long gone. Nobody had enough speed back in this part of the group for them here now, so I'd actually fallen a little bit here behind the 7 of Corey LaJoie and the 17 of Chris Buescher, but then we would fight back up the inside. I actually decided to jump down to the bottom, and we started making some headway. Actually, we would pull away from 30th on back, running 29th place with Anthony Alfredo just in front of us, but clearly a lack of speed in the early part of this race here now, as we have absolutely nothing for even a top 20 position right now. Miami, we had top 20 speed, so we aren't showing that here, as we were in a side-by-side battle with Anthony Alfredo in these closing laps of stage 1, but I just didn't quite have enough for him here as we came through to turn 2 with 2 laps to go. I actually make a mistake right there on the exit of the corner there. I just washed up the track and into the outside while I went, and damage to the right side and right front specifically of that number 27 machine, as the stage though would come to an end here now, and we would get P29 in stage 1. Obviously, everybody about to head into the pit lane, we need some adjustments to this car, to say the absolute least. And look how close we were on field, by the way. It was only 1 lap of field that we had left when we finished this stage, so it was cutting it close here. But you can see me immediately jumping up the tire pressures, because on the long run the car felt pretty good, but the short run we got absolutely destroyed. So I decided to bump up the tire pressures, but I didn't want to do it too much and suffer on the long run here. Now, as we get back underway from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, race number 4 on this season, it is time to get amped here in stage 2. Turn it up. looking a little bit better here to begin this second stage here now is actually Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at the end of the Stamp segment. Going to look up the inside in that number 47 JTG Chevrolet here as we once again find ourselves back up on the top through the center of 1 and 2 here now. And unfortunately, a caution would actually come out early on in this second stage, which I didn't really want that to happen here. I was hoping it would kind of stay green. So that would force us into a restart here now, closing in on the midway point in this second stage here now on lap 7, coming to lap 8 alongside Kurt Busch, who's not having a great race by any means himself either, as well. Kyle Larson right now out in front. Kyle Larson got his first win in the return to the NASCAR Cup Series at this very track, I think it was, in the 2021 season. Can he do that here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode? Now, you would see me throw quite a big, bold move right there on Anthony Alfredo, kind of cutting his nose off right there. And then I dive up the inside of Stenhouse, as well as that number 20 of Christopher Bell, another driver, Joe Gibbs Racing driver, not very strong today in that Craftsman Toyota Camry here now. So we would settle in behind him in that 26th spot, and then we would kind of get stuck here in the 26th position. It turned into a battle between myself and Christopher Bell, but you know what? Things were looking good when you can battle with a Joe Gibbs Racing driver here in these closing laps of stage 2, which was continuing to be led by Kyle Larson in that number 5 machine on the exit of 4. Close quarters right there with Christopher Bell here now coming to the final couple laps of the stage, though. Someone up front into the outside wall into 3 and 4, and that's actually going to bring out a caution ending stage 2 a lap early. I can't tell quite who that is, but nonetheless a caution is going to fly, and the stage comes to an early end here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway there, as I was trying to get a view of who that was, but I just couldn't see because there was such a cloud of smoke there in front of us from whoever it was that blew a tire and hit the outside wall. But Kyle Larson wins stage 2 here as we gain 2 spots as well in the pit lane. So we're up to 24th place here as we get ready for this final stage. So far, it has been a decent recovery here now, as it's been very small gains here now. We were running about 29th, 30th place in stage 1. Well, now we've improved to about a 24th, 25th, 26th area. Hopefully in this final stage with some more adjustments, we can improve another few positions and get close to a top 20. That's the goals with these 1.5 mile tracks. I don't care how bad our race is in between stage 1 and stage 3. If we can just finish inside the top 20, I'd be pretty confident with this car in our chances of making the playoffs here in our rookie season of a Cup Series, because we know the short tracks, we can really turn it up. I think there is a couple of short tracks that we're going to struggle at, like Phoenix Raceway, maybe Richmond as well, but we're going to go to Bristol, we'll be strong. We're going to go to Martinsville, we'll be strong there as well. We're coming up on those tracks soon. Dover as well, another one here, as you see us 3 wide in the middle between that 1 of Kurt Busch and that 20 of Christopher Bell. We just cannot seem to get away from those 2 drivers now as we continue down this back straightaway. But as well, we look at road courses coming up. There's a lot of road courses on the schedule. That's going to be an opportunity for myself. That's where we got our first and only top 10 so far in our Cup Series career, and that was at Mid-Ohio in race number 2. But then we got the plate tracks. We got another Talladega on the way in, another Daytona here just in the regular season. I see everything pointing towards us being in the playoffs, unless, of course, you never know what kind of bad luck could plague us throughout those tracks that we might be good at here now. As you can see, we kind of stalled out here in 24th on lap 45 of 67. Here goes Kurt Busch. He's actually going to pass us. So we dropped down to 25th place, but we were continuously in a battle with him. Austin Dillon, our teammate for Richard Childress Racing, had found himself leading the way. Here comes Tyler Reddick behind us. That was actually who had the tire failure in stage 2 was Tyler Reddick, I believe, because here he is making his way from the back to the front. He's going to go on the inside. I knew I didn't really have much for him today, so I was just going to let him go by and really just not impede the progress that he is trying to make in that number 8 Chevrolet. Second race in a row that at one point in the race that Tyler Reddick has had to come from the back to the front, but the caution would actually come out with 15 laps remaining in this race, forcing everybody into the pit lane with Austin Dillon leading the way. I knew this was a position where the AI were only going to take a little bit of fuel and probably 2 tires at most, so I decided to put 4 tires on the car. Chase Elliott would actually join me at the back of the grid. He might have been the reason for the caution, but nonetheless, I make a decision to take 4 tires and give up all the track position that we just gained over the course of these first 2.5 stages to now give myself a nice advantage to potentially gain more track position here in these closing laps, and hopefully this could be what propels us to a top 20 finish, because clearly we didn't have top 20 speed at the end of that run right there when the caution came out. We got to get those elbows up. We got to get aggressive 3 wide with that number 66 and that number 9 of Chase Elliott here now, as it's a race between him and I on who can work their way through the field of the quickest, and it looks like it's already swaying in our direction here. You're going to see some aggression. 3 wide in the middle. There's Chase Briscoe, the number 14 fellow Rookie of the Year contender. We're going to slice up the inside of him down the back straightaway, and it's going to be a cruise by that number 14 Stuart Haas rookie, and we're going to pass our Alliance teammate of Daniel Suarez here as well. We would get past the 23 of Bubba Wallace up the inside of another fellow Rookie of the Year contender of Austin Cindric, and we were on the move here in these closing moments of this race. Austin Dillon continuing to lead the way, trying to put RCR in victory lane early on in the season. An aggressive, bold move right there. The hole was there. We went for it. We cleared the 77 of Haley. We passed the one of Kurt Busch up in a 25th place, but do we have enough time to get any further here? Out of turn 4, coming to lap 62. You see issues ahead on the apron. That's Kevin Harvick, the 2014 Cup Series champion, going for a spin. He has lost a tire. The caution comes out with 6 laps to go, and this will force a 3-lap dash here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway to determine the finishing results. We're here in 24th place. Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin, your front row. Brad Keselowski in 3rd place in row number 2. Wouldn't rule him out either now, as we're going to be back underway. 3 laps of racing remain. In the background, you can see my rear view mirror. That number 77 of Justin Haley had a terrible restart, and that opened the door for me to do this right here. Jump down to the inside. I realized, earlier in the race, the outside just wasn't going to be an option really to get things done for me today, unfortunately. So we got that opportunity to jump down to the bottom. We're already going to pass the 34 of Michael McDowell, and this is the best we've run all day right here in these closing laps up the inside as well, side by side, wheel to wheel, with that number 20 of Christopher Bell. Another position, 22nd place, Ryan Newman. Our next objective to pass right here. Out of turn 4, we're going to wash up the track a little bit. Nearly contact. Might have been a little bit of contact, but it doesn't really matter here. 2 laps to go from Las Vegas. Austin Dillon continues to lead, looking to get career win number 3, and of course put Richard Childress in victory lane for the first time this season over myself and Tyler Reddick now, as we would also pass the 37 or the 47, sorry, of Ricky Stenhouse and move into the goal of the top 20. Final lap underway, and we have pressure from that number 20 of Christopher Bell. I was confident if we could hold him off right here into turn 1, we should probably be okay. Austin Dillon has left the door open actually for the number 2 of Brad Keselowski. They're going to be side by side for the win down the back straightaway. Dillon on the top, Keselowski on the inside was the scenario going into 3 and 4 for the final time here now, as we're going to somehow pull off the goal here in these closing laps of getting the top 20. So a nice recovery drive for us, and it would be a photo finish between Keselowski and Austin Dillon, but coming out on top, it would actually be Brad Keselowski getting the victory here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You see the margin of victory right there, a couple of hundredths of a second the difference, and Kyle Larson would actually end up in 3rd place. So Brad Keselowski to the top step of the podium here, and now he puts himself in the playoffs for Penske Racing here now, as I am very, very happy with that recovery drive, getting a 20th place finish. Unfortunately, look at Suarez all the way down there in 35th. Kevin Harvick, Anthony Alfredo, both out of the race early, unfortunately for them, or Harvick in the later stages at least. But that does it for episode number 4 of this NASCAR Heat 5 Volume 2 Career Mode. And you see 2 Penske drivers locked in, a Joe Gibbs Racing driver locked in, and then Denny Hamlin's team with 2311 Racing and Bubba Wallace locked into the playoffs as we continue to fall down the playoff grid. But hopefully Phoenix will be an opportunity for us to turn it back around, although one of the hardest tracks with the AI in the game. We might be in for a very rough race there in Phoenix Raceway. So far though, I think we've done a good job impressing teams. We got a long season ahead of us, over 30 races left, so we got to make sure we put it together throughout the whole course of the season. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I will see you guys in the next one, where we head to Arizona for Phoenix Raceway. Have a great day, everybody.